Yeah, I'm sorry. I pressed back. Anyway, what type of species I have in here? I have E's, I have peepees, I have strawberries. They're mainly peepees, like everybody else has. They're such hardy crabs. They're so great. I love them. I love their color. They have such a nice range of color. I don't know. They're probably my favorite. Well, I had them when I was a kid, and I think I probably have so many crabs now because, I didn't know a lot about them when I was a kid, and I was a kid, and they passed away. Now I have probably about 60 something crabs in several tanks. I got two other tanks. Their lights aren't on. I have a 90 and another 55. We are doing local adoption hubs, but all the adoptions still will need to go through me. I will still be going through and looking over everybody's tank. Just is what it is. But you guys will be distributing them, and that's what Mary plans to do, or is doing currently. Kelsey, we will definitely, after this is over, I plan to spend the next couple of days catching up on all the emails I missed and everything like that. I didn't get my strawberries from an adoption. I kind of help with a local reptile show, and I heard there was a vendor here with strawberries, and I wanted to get them. I told another local person who's affiliated with our group, and he actually ended up getting the bulk of them. I just wanted a couple of them. I couldn't take all of them because of space, so I got 4 of them. They're great. I'm happy I have them. I wish I could have gotten them from adopting, but that's just not what happened for me. And I wanted to get them out of that show ASAP because the way the vendor was selling them, they were in a plastic container. They had a little bit of water at the bottom. There was no heat. That's it. That's how he was selling them. I was more prepared when I came to get them from the show than he was when he was selling them at the show. Yeah, that's one of my strawberries. He's cute. He's the little one. They're very not. They're tank wreckers. Like if you ever get strawberries, prepared to have your tank destroyed every day. I don't rather buy them. The only reason I went and bought them is because of how the vendor was selling them. If the vendor was probably, like, say the vendor had like a tank setup and he was selling them in a more ethical manner, I probably would have let somebody else get them. But I still wanted them. Let's be real. I wanted them. I got them, I think, 2 years ago. So they're doing pretty good. They're all alive still. A couple of them are down. But this tank next to me, it is ran by a computer program that my boyfriend wrote. He's the one who did, on the first day, it was an electronic, he basically showed you how to make thermostats for cheaper than what you can buy a thermostat. It was one of the live stages. Yeah, DIY tank control. Well, this is actually controlled by one of those, kind of. It's a little more complex. It controls the lighting, it controls the heat, it controls the temperature, it controls a fan. If a fan needs to turn on, a fan will automatically turn on. This tank is very well monitored. I haven't had any problems with my strawberries yet. They're all alive, well, have all their legs. They're good. I think it depends on who's keeping the strawberries and how they're keeping them, like any other crab. I mean, I find them in my pool, but I have no interest in doing what Mary does. Too much work. I got a job. I got lots of animals. I don't have the time for that. No, my crabs all go underground to molt. They've got quite a bit of substrate. The middle tank is over half full of substrate. The main tank to this with the most pools is a little lower than half, but it's just about at half. And then the final tank on the end is over half full. They love to dig. How big is my largest crab? He's big. He's real big. He's going down. I'd show you, but he's digging right now. I can't prevent that. '55s are alright, like for a tank. They're okay. I mean, you can't fit a whole lot of crabs in them, but I think our theory here is fill it up as much as you can with sand and then have as much climbing space. So it kind of creates a bigger tank, sort of. It depends on how you view that. I don't like how narrow they are, but I kind of, with how everything is connected, it kind of negates that. I still don't like how narrow they are, but it's whatever, it works. They love it. Well, I got the two 55s on the bottom. Well, I have three 55s, but right here I have two 55s on the bottom, and then I have another 55 that's turned over on top of it. It's just a topper. I didn't bother breaking the glass out. I know some people will break the glass out and do something with it, but eh. You can actually look up on Land Hermit Crab Owner Society. I made a huge post about it. If you just look my name up, you'll find the post. It's probably the longest thing I've ever written. Nope. I would show you the other tanks, but their lights are off. I have a 90 and another 55 from an adoption I did right before COVID. I do adopt from the adoption program, especially if there is an adopter that's close enough to me and I can't find anybody else to get those crabs. I will go there myself and get those crabs and whatever else they need me to do for them. Like the lady I got these crabs from was an elderly woman. She lived in a facility and she was getting ready to have some health issues. So I told her, I'll come and I will do everything you need me to do to get those tanks and those crabs out of your home. And that's what I did. I loaded up 2 tanks, about 21 or 23 crabs, and like a truckload of accessories. Yeah, that's in my post too. I have lots of climbing stuff. Like here's a midsection right here. They're able to climb up through here because of all of this stuff and all of the wood. I use a lot of natural stuff out of my woods. And they're able to climb over and then come back down. This needs fixed. They destroyed it last night. There's just nothing I can do about that. It's just crabs. Yeah, I got a lot of crabs. I have crabs. Not the itchy kind. Well, you can't really access them in the toppers unless I can reach them from one of the access points. They just kind of do their own thing up there. They're usually pretty cool. I mean, they just climb up. Sometimes they'll fall down. I like to call it tuck and tumble. They'll climb all the way up and then they'll be lazy about climbing down, climb into their shell, and boom. I like to come over and see who did it and laugh at them. It's their fault. Um, well, I think I probably have, I'm not really sure. I I'm not really sure, but it's there's no overcrowding issues. They're good. It's it's a stable amount of crabs in there. I never see fighting. I never see shell jacking. I think they are so occupied with all the space that they have, all the climbing things that they have, the big pools, everything. They're fed well. I don't have any issues, but I have a lot of crabs. My temp and humidity is usually about 72, 75. It is a variation, so some points in the tank, because it is so huge, it will, there's some points that are a little higher, like as far as humidity goes, like over by the pools, obviously, it's going to be a little higher, just things like that. You do always want a range in temperature and humidity in your tank. I have 3 water pools. They're a little smaller right now, but they are big. They got some algae in them. They need cleaned. I don't think you can see it. I don't think you can see it, but they're decent sized pools. I do. I have multiple gauges. I think Ian said there was like 6 or 8 of them in this tank. Got to be honest, he helped with that part of it more so than I did. So on the technical side of how many gauges and how does the controller work, like that, that's not me. That's not me. No, I don't need that much time. I don't need that much time. In fact, if you guys want to talk to me on Zoom later, that'd probably be better because I do have animals I need to feed. Like my chameleon just woke up, and my bearded dragon just woke up. He's not happy with me. I actually woke him up early. Bearded dragons are great. He is like the cat of the lizard world. He's so sweet. He cooks with me. I'll tuck him in my apron and we'll cook together. He's so sweet. We'll nap. You probably shouldn't nap with your dragon, but I nap with my dragon sometimes. Not my chameleon. He's a jerk. I think if you look up my name, Anna Keel, with multi tanks or toppers, it should pull it up. It's a huge post and it has really good, it has decent pictures of my tank. Oh, look, there's another crabby. Look at that guy. I don't think, oh, there's my mouse. I don't know if you can see him. There he is. There he is. Aww. I think they're really calm for me because I take lots of pictures of them. Yep, that's a peepee. He's pretty big. I can find the link for you. Give me one sec. Yeah, it's funny when you realize how much you post in a group just by looking up a post by you. found it. There you go. Well, I'm gonna feed some animals, but you guys are more than welcome to join us on Zoom. You can ask me whatever questions then. I do have to feed some animals and stuff. If I missed any questions, just, kind of get it to me here in the next couple of minutes. How did I get my largest crab? Listen, I have a lot of crabs. I don't remember all of my adoptions because I have a lot of crabs, and I've been doing this since probably 2011, 2010. A lot's happened in everybody's life since 2011 or 2010. I'm pretty sure he probably came to me from one of the adoptions from the adoption program. I used to regularly adopt through the adoption program before I ran the adoption program. Mary Milhorn used to run the adoption program, and anytime there was a crab in Missouri, she'd be like, "Hey, you want to adopt this crab?" Sure. I have nothing else to do. Do I have any jumbos? My biggest crab is, I would say, considered a jumbo. I'll show you his next shell that he's going to fit in. It's pretty big. This is the size of shell my biggest guy is about to fit in. I just ordered him a couple that are about 2 inches because he might actually need that. This one's just about 2 inches. So this one, if he's going down to molt now, it could be too small for him when he comes up. We don't know. So I'm just preparing. And then when I adopted these crabs before COVID, she had a really, really big crab in there that needed a shell, and it is actually about the size of my biggest crab. So now I have 2 about that size. Oh, I saw that. I actually, Stacy linked me to that after I spent a bunch of money with Ken's store. Ken has some really nice shells, by the way. We need, not that I don't appreciate Ken, but I want to buy like a dumpster full of shells so I can dig through them and just like look at them all day. I don't know. It would be really cool to go to like a shell store. I'm in Missouri. We don't have shell stores. And we might have a shell store like that sells a couple of shells in the corner. But to go to an actual store with all these shells, that would be so cool. Ken Storkey is actually, if you go over to the left of this video, you see where it says Expo, you'll find Ken's store there. Alright, I'm gonna feed some animals. My chameleon has made his way out and... Oh, that's gross. Yeah, he's out. Let me see if I can get him. I'll show you my chameleon. Come here. Come here. Come on. This is Jeffrey. He's kind of crabby right now. He's shedding. And he might get angry at himself because he can see himself. Just try to prevent that. But I'll see you guys later. I gotta feed this guy. It's been fun. Feel free to ask me any questions. Whatever.